We've been talking all week about leading by letting go of all things. And today we're going to talk about what's possible when you do that. Now, you may say, oh, it's impossible. I want you to think for a minute. Is there something that might be possible if you let go more? So while we play that introduction that you know you've heard 50 times probably, and you're going to check out anyway, think through that. We'll be back with that and more on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Bob. How are you today?
I'm okay. I'm back in the corporate offices, no longer at the beach. So I'm a little sad. I like the beach air. I love the waves. I love the birds flying overhead and trying to find food. But alas, all good things must come to a close and something new begins on a new day.
Do they have to come to a close? Do all good things have to come to a close?
I don't have an answer. I guess they don't.
Maybe they don't. Maybe that's a different way
I
to look
still
at
have
it.
the suntan. I still have the feelings. Still have the memories. I have some nice photos of sunrises. Had some good experiences with people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they never end. Just the way you look at it.
I guess it's possible.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, thanks.
Good. You sound better.
My apologies. I couldn't get to the mute button quick enough, and
it's hard to sneeze and hit the mute button at the same time.
It can be. It definitely can be. No, I'm doing well. Looking forward to our conversation today because I'm always interested in what's possible.
Good. Here we go. All
right. So welcome, everyone, to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast. Each week, we pick a topic and we have a conversation around that topic and some of the pieces of that topic every day. And as we go through our conversation, we hope that you will feel free to share any thoughts or ideas that you have around it as well, depending on whatever social media you happen to be following us on, because we know that it'll add value to...
Oh, I thought I was getting ready.
Were you jumping the gun there?
I was. I'm sorry. All right. I'll wait.
It's all right. Depending on whatever social media you happen to be following us, please feel free to share your value because we know that it will have an impact on what we're discussing and what others who might be listening. Whether you happen to be following us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Yes, LinkedIn Live, as we go live on LinkedIn every morning, weekday morning. So at the end of that conversation, we will offer our one thing, our today's antidote. That thing that we hope you will be able to maybe use today or somewhere down the line when you are stuck and trying to figure out how to take your next step along your own unique pathway to success. And of course, if you have one thing you'd like to share, please feel free to share that as well. Now, before we dive into that, though, each morning we start off with our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
I'm going to celebrate friends that know you better than you know yourself. So yesterday, a friend of mine, a very wise person who looks a lot like Tom, said to me in a text or in a message, he said, hey, don't do this particular thing today because it's just going to bother you. And it was a very simple thing that I would normally do. And his act of encouraging me not to do it was a really generous thing because it would have caused me to go backwards, not forwards. So I celebrate that today, Tom. Thank you.
Of course. Yes. Sometimes simple little things can make a big difference.
Indeed.
Yeah. Excellent.
How about you?
I am celebrating that I survived yesterday morning. Holy cow, was it hot. As those of you who weren't listening yesterday I had the opportunity to get out in the field. Well, I celebrated my dad yesterday. And I had the chance to go out and officiate, which I hadn't done a lot of. I'd been around officials a lot. I'd have assigned a lot of games this summer, and just not officiated as much. And so I was out there at this, the USA Lacrosse Development Program, U16 and U18 tryouts. And we were there from about 8:30 until noon. And the players were going up and down the field. And even though there were 3 of us, it was hot. And the last 12-minute game they did, we got off the field and each of us were like, oh my God, if we had done another minute, I'm not sure it would have gone so well.
And it was humid too.
It was humid. And the sun there wasn't a lot of cloud cover. So I got home and I was pretty much
done,
except I knew I had a 4:00 phone call. And so that was, I was like, all right, how do I survive until about 3:30 when I can go prep for that call and then take it? And then I was, again, done. So I'm just happy that survived a day out in the sun.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we've been talking all week about leading by letting go. As part of the process, we've sort of been evolving the whole process of leadership, of management, of how we manage ourselves and other people. And today we're going to talk about what's possible when a leader actually starts to let go. And Tom, I'm going to turn the tables today and let you go first. Ooh, didn't see that coming, huh?
I did not. And
I
know that it is always possible. So
if you don't want to go first, I can go first.
I'm happy. I'm
flexible.
It's interesting. One of the things it just popped into my head, literally, as you were starting to intro it, was kind of like being a parent. As if you're
I got nothing. I haven't done that.
That's why I'm going to share a little bit further.
Okay.
So you can start to understand. And I think it relates to being a leader.
Okay.
Is as parents, we do a lot to try to help our kids get to a certain point. And then at some point we have to let them go. Whether it's we let them go off to school or we let them go off to a friend's house or we let go and let them go to college. At some point they move out of your house and you let go of that control that you had. And it allows them to go out in the world and do things. And it allows them to have a lot of possibilities. If we never let go, just like with our employees, if we never let go of them, they likely would not discover what they wanted to discover and what is possible. Now, I think the challenge with that, and one of the reasons I think it's hard of letting go, is that sometimes things don't go as planned. And I think our challenge is being okay that happens, and then trying to figure out how to learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's as a parent or as someone who leads a team, sometimes your teammate members are going to go off and do things that don't go as planned. And there's lots of ways as a leader that you can pull back the reins and be like, oh, no, I'm never going to do that again. Or you can be like, okay, well, what did we learn from this situation? And I think allowing them to know that, well, just because you did this and it got this result doesn't mean that I'm never going to let you do that again. That I'm going to let you, that now you've learned, you might do it, you can do some things differently and make some different decisions. And I'm still letting go and allowing you to discover all those things. Because when you let go and let someone else go discover, there's a lot that is possible. And the full range of things that go amazingly well to things that go completely unexpected and not as planned.
I like that. I would add to it that the parents I've observed when they let go, if it doesn't go as they were expecting, are always there with love when the child comes back.
Sure.
First it's the hug and I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy spending the night at Tommy's house. And then you console them and then you talk through it. Maybe the next morning, maybe a day later. Hey, what didn't you like about it? What was this? And I think that give and take is part of how we grow into a bigger role. And it's really what's possible because we're going from what we know to what we don't know. And we're not going to be 100% accurate. We're just not. We're going to make mistakes. We learn from those mistakes. We learn from those situations, from those challenges. And as the parent in that situation, you can't prep your child for every scenario. It's impossible. It just won't happen. So I think part of that letting go that I like in what's possible is I think in the role you define as the parent or as the leader, there's a whole possibility in terms of trust of your employees or your child. There's a whole possibility of them finding a solution that never crossed your mind. There's also the possibility of them forging relationships that you never even contemplated. I mean, I know I've been in roles where I've done things that, my boss would say, how'd you end up doing that? Like I ended up at a conference once and spoke to the exact right person that they've been trying to get in front of for months. And I had dinner with the guy, just invited me to dinner. He came by the booth and said, hey, we're going to dinner. Why don't you come to dinner? I go to dinner. I'm at dinner for like 4 hours with these guys. We're thick as thieves after that. And if I had been told, hey, when you go to this conference, do this, do this, do this, I would have been constrained. And so the fact that they trusted me enough to get into this situation and find my way through it, when I came back, it was like, wow, that was a real success. Who'd have thought? That's the craziest thing. What did you do? I'm like, yeah, he walked by. I started joking around with him. I said, you seem too smart to be here. And he said, oh, we're going fishing tomorrow all day. We're playing hooky. And I said, oh, that sounds like fun. He said, you should come with us. I'm like, I can't. I got a man in the booth. He said, all right, then come out to dinner tonight. And it was just one of those impromptu things. But if I had been told only talk about what we do with the prospective customers, would have never happened. And I think that's a form of letting go that I could have blown that. I could have upset the guy. I could have joked and made things bad and dug us deeper into the hole with them, but I didn't. And I think that's an example of what's possible, that organizations really, by setting such restrictive rules on what their employees can and can't do. When we say, hey, you can celebrate everyone's birthday, but the cake can't cost more than $9, and it's a 2-balloon maximum, you're kind of, well, wait, no, this person's turning 60 and we wanted to get 6 balloons. Nope, that violates the 2 rule. And it's often arbitrary, right?
Of course.
So I think a lot of what's possible is really letting go, not just of the person and what they do, but of the incremental expectations leading to a result.
Well, certainly. I mean, it's amazing to hear. It's funny. I was at this workshop last week, and we were talking about hiring, firing, and everything in between. And I had someone come up to me either in the break or after the presentation. I can't remember. And they were frustrated because they were hired into a role because of their creativity, ideas, thoughts that they had, things that they had done on other organizations. And yet when they got inside the organization, the new organization, they were handcuffed back with, well, that's not the way we do it, or we've always done it this way, or, and with a leader who, played the role of, oh, we want you because of all these great things. Yeah, once you get here, here are the rules that you have to follow, and here are the handcuffs that we're going to put on your creativity. And I think the organization misses out. I mean, you went out and hired this person because of their skill set and their creativity, and then you didn't allow them to go and do that as a leader because you felt too tight to what you've always done. And and I think the organization loses out, and likely that person won't stay very long.
Right.
Like, you're like, well, this wasn't really exactly what I was expecting.
Well, what they saw was possible isn't possible, right?
Correct.
I mean, if we're going to use the language we're using this morning, and if you think about it, I didn't think about it until you just said that, but the possibility for the leader in the organization, there's also possibilities for that employee.
Certainly.
And it sounds like a great example, just saying, no, that's all those things you thought were possible when we hired you. Yeah, they're not.
Correct. And I think that's, again, where you miss out on those possibilities of letting someone come into a new situation with different resources and do things differently, which might help the organization really discover some amazing things and also discover some shortcomings that they likely could do differently if they were open to the concept of that possibility. And I think that's, one of the real benefits of letting go. And I think, as we've discussed already, is that, yeah, you're opening yourself up for some challenges that might come along the way. And again, if you're like me, who I try not to use that mistake word, because I don't think anything is that. Anything is just an action that we have taken, and we just don't get the results that we expected. So now you can either be critical of that action. You can put the handcuffs back on because, well, I guess you are not ready to be let go and to do your own things. Or, as we talked about earlier, you can sit down and discover about, okay, what do we learn from this? And how do we leverage what we learned so that it's an action that actually has value? The value wasn't in the results. The value was in the learning that took place as a result of the actions that we took.
I like that. It's time, Tom. I can't wait any longer. I got my one thing. I said it earlier, but I'm going to underline it. Okay. I didn't think until you were talking about the employee today about the fact that there's a what is possible for the leader, there's a what is possible for the organization, and there's a what is possible for each of the employees. And in aligning those three, or potentially more than three, that's where the greatest possibilities really lie.
Yeah, and we'll never know that if we don't let go.
Exactly. How about you?
I think that when I think about leading by letting go and what's possible, I think that we get so caught up in what is currently real for us. And we're so afraid of change that why would we let go? And all we are doing is reducing the possibilities of discovering new things about ourselves and about our organization and about others. And in some ways, I think that when we let go, the possibilities of understanding the value of the team member comes much quicker. So we are able to sort of figure out, okay, was this a good hire? Was this a good placement of the team member? Was this a good selection of putting them in this opportunity, in this role? And so then we have a chance to learn about them faster. And to me, when you can learn more about someone faster, you can then leverage that knowledge to help them to continue to grow much quicker. If all we're doing is telling people what to do, we don't learn a whole lot about the possibilities that they could provide. And I think we miss those opportunities. And I think conversely, when we're telling everybody what to do all the time, we miss out on the possibilities that we could have. How we could discover other things because our mind is so set on we've got to do this. We forget about what could we do differently. Right.
I like that. And guess what, Tom? We're less than 24 hours away now from my favorite episode of the week, Discoveries of the Week. I think I know what mine is. I'm pretty sure. But
okay.
You'll have to wait till tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Then we'll share. So here's where you get to do the fun part then, Tom, where you go, if you like what you hear, blah, 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 you can go and you can join our Facebook group, Ring of Renegades, just go, they'll ask you a question, put the answer, and then you can join our growing community of about 1,200 people who are taking their own unique pathway towards success. Right? Isn't that what you do?
Yeah, so why do I need to do it now? You just did it.
I know. I'm just trying to give people a different way to access it because I thought maybe if I did it this way, they'd listen differently. See, I felt like it was possible to get someone who doesn't normally listen, that just rolls over it, to listen because I gave it a different spin.
Okay. Or you just wanted me to let go?
No, I don't want you to let go. I did in the beginning, but not anymore. I'm actually comfortable in the idea that I don't have to manage the nuts and bolts.
So you discovered something by letting go of that.
I have discovered something, and I don't know if you know this, but I have another podcast I do with someone else where I really am his sidekick. And I really let go in that one. That is all about making him shine. And I wouldn't have been able to do that were it not for this experience. So yeah, I'm learning to let go. And I'm seeing the possibilities of it in so many aspects of my life. So,
well, and I guess the question would be is, how are you leveraging that? And what are you doing by letting go? What does it allow you?
That's a discussion for you and me tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Fair enough.
And no, that will not be on the air.
Fair enough. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of our show today. We look forward to seeing you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time for Discoveries of the Week, Bob's favorite episodes. Yes. All right. We look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.
Embrace the renegading you. It is so worth it on this beautiful Thursday.
It is always worth it.
Always worth it.
Because when you embrace the renegading you, there are lots of possibilities that are available.
Indeed.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.